In this video, we're looking at asset activity ratios, problem 5.4, and with these ratios, we are looking at what we're trying to ascertain is how efficiently are we using is the firm using its assets. So this first one, we're going to look at the ratio of sales to inventory, and that's going to tell us, give us an idea of whether we are moving or selling our inventory, or is it just sitting somewhere in a warehouse, not being sold. So we want this to be obviously as high as possible. We want sales to be, we want sales to be higher than our inventory. So that's sort of the that's why we're looking at this ratio. Now, the challenge with this problem you have to do is that it doesn't actually, in the scenario, give you a dollar amount for your inventory. So if you go in your book and look at, I have it right here, and look at a typical balance sheet, you can see that the inventory is part of what you need to add up to arrive at your total current assets. So I kind of cut this out and put it over here and put in the numbers that we have for our problem. So we've got cash, we have 12 million right here. Doesn't give us anything for a marketable security, so that's 0. Our accounts receivable are 600,000. Inventory we don't know. There's 0 here for prepaid expenses, so we just put 0 here. So we just simply need to compute what dollar amount. Well, what we do know is we do know what our total current assets are, which is 15 million. So we just need to know what do we need to add to our cash and to our accounts receivable to get to the dollar amount of 15 million. And if we do some simple math, we know that 12 million plus 600,000 plus what? So we can actually subtract that from 15 million, and we get the dollar amount of our inventory, which is 2,400,000, right? Because 12 million plus 600,000 plus 2,400,000 equals our total current assets of 15 million. So now that we know what our inventory is, we can plug it into our ratio right here and divide sales, which is 35 million. So we're simply dividing 35 million by 2,400,000, and that's going to give us our inventory ratio, which is once again not expressed as a percentage, it's just a number. And hint, it's over 10. It's going to be over 10. If it's not over 10, you've done something wrong. Okay. And then the total asset turnover right here is just going to look at how efficiently is the firm using all of its assets. So an example in the book I think gives is that, if you've got these fancy jets that you're flying all your corporate executives, around in, and they're not really bringing anything. They're not really doing anything for your sales. They're just sort of a showy perk. Then that's going to show here because your total assets are going to be high and your sales are going to be relatively low. So once again, you want your sales to be higher. So you want this number to be 1 or greater. So for this one, we simply want to take our sales, which if we jump back up here, let me just move this up. Actually, let me move this up so we can see it. Yeah, we want our sales to be the numerator, which is going to be 35 million, and then our total assets are going to be 15 million. which are current assets right here, plus our fixed assets of 20 million. So if you jump back into your book and just look at that, you can see that we're adding up our total current assets right here, and then of course we'll talk. We've already talked some, but we'll talk more about this accumulated depreciation. But you end up with getting your total assets right here by adding in your fixed assets. So we want to add that up. So for a total, we're adding our current 15 million plus a 20 million to get 35 million. So we got 35 million in sales and $35 million in total assets. And it doesn't take a calculator to figure out that if the numerator equals the denominator, your ratio is 1. How about that?